Windwalker Monk, Foxy on the Feral Druid, Jeff on the Death Knight, and of course Kappa on the Holy Paladin. Equips them with two very scary double melee compositions that no Resto Shaman wants to fight in an arena. Absurge, of course, representing that Restoration Shaman. He does have that Resto Druid available to him. We saw that juice box come out yesterday and flop to we back, but who knows? He could definitely pull it back out again. Walter Bear on the Feral Druid, Jelly Beans on the Hunter, and Dota on the Warlock, equipping them with Feral Lock Shaman as well as Jungle, which is Feral Hunter Shaman.
I think Absurge's team is like Windwalker's wet dream. They all just fall asleep and dream of training Absurge every night.
They're like, I'm gonna give you some.
It's a fury.
I'm gonna.
So good.
I'm gonna give you some new footage for this next game, huh, Absurge? But here we go, guys. Thank you so much, Borgie112, for that 2-month resub, man. Really appreciate that support, dude. But here we are. It's Ruins Order. It's the Grand Arena, and it's FLS going up against the Windwalker DK of Donut. And here we go. Melman equipped for balance. It's going to give them all that additional strength. They are running a Horde. They are all on Horde characters. We have the Orc coming out from balance with his super awesome transmogs, as well as Raisin on the Blood Elf Paladin and Jeff on the Blood Elf Death Knight, giving them 2 Arcane Torrents to be able to survive through balance, though, on the Orc, negating a whole bunch of that, that stun combination pressure.
I got quiet because I put my mic down. I actually have to hold my microphone. I don't have a stand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But this triple orc, or sorry, double blood elf, 1 orcs, 2 blood elves, 1 orc. Sounds like a Warcraft movie in the making. Let's see what they can get done here. Donut just crossing the center of the map. Walla eating a Paralyze. Balance moving forward onto Absurge. Absurge looking for a cheeky Hex. Lands that Hex over onto Balance full. And he's going to have to sit through that reluctantly. Dark Soul out from Dota. Balance actually trinketing out, going for that offensive leg sweep over onto Absurge. But that Shadow Fury is going to break up the stun chain. Now Absurge getting paralyzed. And Donut are actually going onto Dota, it looks like, for now. We can see Kappa, a.k.a. Raisin, pulling back, trying to heal his team back up here. Jeff rotting down, and Splyce are doing surprisingly well early on here. That was the Pillar of Frost, and they really didn't have to trade anything.
You can definitely tell that these guys are experienced with facing this composition, and they're pulling out some crazy hat tricks to stop the momentum and stop that Absurge train, the blue train. Jeff taking a bunch of damage. Saved by the Light's going to proc onto him. Raisin using that Avenging Wrath to keep himself alive here at this point. Jeff just sticking in Dota's face, however. Absurge not caught into any CC just yet, is able to free cast Dota just fine. There's the Hex going out on a balance from Absurge, stopping a lot of the momentum from this swap as they're trying to reconnect over out in Absurge, but he's just playing so slippery. And now Raisin even pushing up to try to get in there to try to help them take down Absurge, but Absurge is feeling so comfortable. He's even getting these lava bursts off over onto Raisin, and Raisin taking a bunch of damage from Walter Bear. But here we go. The double leg sweep goes out onto Dota and out onto Absurge. Dota seeming to be the main kill target for now. Balance putting them both into a Fist of Fury. Absurge actually getting silenced up out of that. He's going to stone form, and he missed the Spirit Link because of the gateway of Dota. A misplay and a miscommunication from Splyce could cost them the game here moving forward. That was a big misplay, missing that Spirit Link.
Yeah, and Donut are adapting to Splyce's strategy. They're just going after Dota the Warlock instead. They know that they'll peel for Absurge, so if they sit on Dota, it'll stop the fears from coming out on those stun combinations. So I think that's a smart adaptation from Donut, just swapping their damage around. We can see Walter going after Kappa, already forcing his Trinket out here. Now Fist of Justice over onto Absurge, Fist of Fury over onto Dota. A lot of damage getting pumped out by Balance at the moment. Paralyzed onto Walter. Dota going to portal back out of line of sight, but Balance actually put his portal on Dota's portal, so he can follow him every time. But Absurge with these hexes are keeping Balance at bay for now. Kappa trying to line of sight the clone, not able to get out of line of sight, but Jeff stole it and threw a clone over onto Absurge. This is going to be a long CC chain onto Absurge, potentially out of that. They chain him into the Paralyzed. Dota down to 30%. Fist of Fury connecting out, down below 18%, almost in the touch of death range. 11%, 6%, that's not enough. Absurge Trinket linking far too late, and Splyce not able to adapt to the strategy change of Donut in time.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of that game was way different than we saw at the end of that game. There was a point there where they just completely stopped all momentum from going out onto Absurge, and so Donut just swapped over out onto Dona, or from Dota. And, you know, honestly, on paper, I would feel like that's almost an advantage to Splyce to be able to heal through that on Dota and let Absurge free cast, but you know, it just didn't seem that way moving forward. That was just so much pressure, and then the grips as well going out onto on Absurge into the leg sweeps in the stolen cyclones from Jeff from Walter Bear out on Absurge gave him enough CC to get ahead against Splyce here, and they're going to take game number 1 on the Grand Arena. We're going to be jumping into the next game here very shortly, and I don't know. I think that we're going to see Splyce stick with their Feral Lock Shaman. We're going to see Donut stick with Windwalker DK Holy Paladin. And Splyce has proven time and time again that they have the ability to adapt to these situations. And I think that we're going to see a much different game. I mean, the misplay of that Spirit Link coming out, that quick miscommunication, Dota getting really, really low there. It's really easy to do that. It's really easy to just miss that Spirit Link. And, you know, that Trinket Link at the very end, that was rough too. Like, you want to hold on to it as long as you possibly can, but at the same time, against a Windwalker DK like that, it can be really scary.
Yeah, and I mean, Donut obviously knew that Splyce would be ready for them to go into Absurge, which is why they're doing this different tactic of going after Dota. And what it allows them to do is prevent themselves from getting Shadow Fury. Shadow Fury is the most reliable stop for Dota to interrupt the Fist of Fury, but if he's the one being stunned, he can't stop it. And Walter wasn't in a position, I guess, to be able to Typhoon it, or maybe he didn't have something left. I wonder if Splyce just weren't ready for Dota to get trained down like that. Didn't seem like it. But now Splyce need to react and be ready for that. So Donut changing their strategy, changing their targets up after seeing how Valito's team went down yesterday, and it's working out for them so far.
Yep, and here we go. We're going to jump into game number 2 of this best of 5 series, and Splyce, I like this choice coming out from Splyce. They're going to bring it to a much larger map to force this Windwalker DK to run across this large plane. It's Tolvaron Arena. Welcome everyone to Tolvaron Arena. It's Splyce versus Donut, game number 2. And it looks like Balance is just going to get all his little mirror image friends out. Alright, here we go. The gates have opened. It's FLS versus Windwalker DK once again. Look at Balance just running right in there. He wants to get on to Dota. It looks like Dota in anticipation is going to be running that Blood Horror specialization to fear him up as soon as Balance connects. Now getting caught into that full hex from Absturge. Dota's going to get aggressive though right away. He's going to pop that Demon Soul, but he gets locked out on that Haunt, and now leg sweeped as well. He trinkets out of that. He wants to get aggressive. Raisin taking a bunch of damage, but it looks like he's going to be okay as he pulls back. Now the Fist of Fury going out onto Walter Bear from Balance, and Jeff going onto the Feral Druid, forcing him back as well. And Splyce is just stopping the opener completely from Donut here in the opener, but it doesn't look like they're going on to Absurge. It looks like they want to kill Dota here after the success of game number 1, it would seem. Walter Bear popping the Incarnation over out on Raisin, dipping him down, forcing the Blessing of Protection here at this point. The Arcane Torrent coming out from Raisin as well, stopping Walter Bear's cycle, and the Hodge out on the Absurge as Dota is forced to gate away from this double melee. It looks like Absurge is now the kill target once again for Dota. The Shadow Fury from Dota is going to stop a lot of the momentum. The silence on Absurge is not even going to be stone formed. He feels that comfortable with it, and he's going to hold on to it for now. It's a great play by Absurge, knowing that the momentum just wasn't in Donut's favor. Hello? Oh, Super Tease is actually muted, my bad. Alright, Jeff actually taking a bunch of damage. He's forced to AMS. The double leg sweep coming out from Balance on both Dota and Absurge into the Fist of Fury from Balance. He's trying to turn this around, but Jeff is actually so low. And Raisin going to use that Trinket, Wings, and Execution sentence to heal up Jeff. Absurge getting some free cast off. He's going to port back, and he's going to be okay for now. Dota's still the main kill target for Donut, but Donut's looking for those opportunities to make those swaps over out on Absurge all the time. And as I say that, Absurge is getting swapped to by Jeff right now, and Walter Bear is just going to stun up Jeff to stop that from happening. But here's the full Hodge out on the Absurge. He's got plenty of buttons to deal with it, but how is he going to do it? The Fist of Fury comes out and it gets interrupted by Dota's Shadow Fury. Great play by him to stop that momentum, but Absurge still at 50% health here, is trying to hold on to its Spirit Link as Balance is put into the clone, but Absurge getting silenced up. He's going to stone form out of that. He's looking to get a cast off instead of a Spirit Link. Where's his team at the link? He's going to have to link here very soon, it would seem, unless we get some crazy peels. The Aura Mastery Hex is going to be leg sweeped up by Balance. He has no trinket available to him because he did stone form earlier. Into the Hodge. He cannot trinket this. Is he going to go down? The Fist of Fury comes out, and he gets the link just in the nick of time, and Absurge will survive regardless of using that stone form earlier on. Crazy close plays coming out from Splyce, but because of those crazy close plays, Absurge is actually going to walk away with his trinket and his Spirit Link.
Yeah, I don't know how the global mute got triggered, but Absurge is still getting trained down pretty hard right now by Balance. Paralyzed onto Walter to break up some CC. Trying to reconnect onto Absurge and want to keep him as low as possible here. Fist of Fury comes out. Pillar of Frost is rotating off cooldown. Absurge has Trinket Link. Will he be able to get it off in time? No Strangulate to follow it up. Pillar of Frost gets popped. They're looking to burst him through, but they aren't able to interrupt his heals. Blood Elf Silence comes out instead, but Kappa's team is going to be rotting down here. He's got Bubble. He's got Avenging Wrath. So long as Kappa plays this out pretty respectively, he's going to be able to survive. Absurge is going to gate to the opposite side of the map for now. Dota trying to get some dots out here. Still not dotting Balance and Windwalker Monk. They want to make sure that he's open and available to be crowd controlled. Absurge running away here. He's very nervously getting swapped to, but they're actually going to mix it up. They're going over onto Dota. Absurge gets gripped into the leg sweep. They're going to make a swap over to him now as well. They're just spreading their damage out onto multiple targets. Absurge caught on the Fist of Fury. He's got Trinket Link available. Strangulate is up as well. Surely he's going to have to trinket the Strangulate. He's trying to man mode through it. He's going to trinket, dispel the Soul Reaper, hold on to the Link actually. Still playing it kind of half greedy. Now caught in the Paralyzed. They could even swap back to Dota. Both players, Absurge and Dota, in a lot of trouble. At 50% HP, Absurge just desperately trying to recover for now. Walter's Incarnation is up, though, and Kappa needs to be ready. Walter pulls the trigger. Blessing of Protection comes out immediately. Walter's going to clone him up on that. Jeff not able to steal it this time. He was too far out of range. Absurge just relentlessly still getting trained down. He has to pre-link the Fist. He doesn't get it. Nobody's next to him at the moment here. Walter leaps in, but he's going to get Fist of Fury as well. Doesn't look like they have any more stuns. As I say that, Kappa charges forward, gets the half Fist of Justice. Absurge has that link, needs to use it, barely survives at 14%. Now his entire team on the back foot. He's trying to recover. He's got no Ascendancy. Pops the Aura Mastery instead to try and stabilize here. He should for now, and Kappa still has Bubble. Avenging Wrath coming up here pretty soon. I really think this is Donut's game to throw.
It really is, but at the same time, Raisin doesn't have much to deal with this onslaught that Walter Bear. Absurge's getting leg sweeped up. He's got so low. He's got nothing to deal with this. Can he survive? The Arcane Torrent coming out. He's going to gateway away, and Walter Bear is peeling for his life, and Absurge is going to survive once again. I feel like the only thing Splyce really has going for him at this point is Raisin's mana pool. It's only at 23% versus Absurge's 35%, but is that even going to matter on the next leg sweep grip onto Absurge? He's not going to have anything to deal with it, and Jeff is taking a bit of pressure as well. Dota pulling back to his Restoration Shaman is getting as much spread pressure as possible. Jeff taking a bunch of damage as those haunts connect. Raisin looking to get some heals off. He actually jukes Dota CS to be able to get some more free cast. The Hex goes out onto Balance. Absurge just trying to heal up his team and keep them completely topped off here as we enter 2% dampening. Shadow Fury goes out on both the DPS for Donut from Dota, and then a full Cyclone lands on the Raisin. Jeff is just going to trade that up with a very short cooldown of AMS. Now Raisin put into another Fear, and Jeff dipping down to 50% health here. He's got to be a little bit careful, and Absurge is actually catching some links here throughout all that, but the leg sweep goes out on the Dota. The silence goes out on Absurge. Dota's in a little bit of trouble. The Fist of Fury come out. He's dipping so low. Soul Reaper's up. He gets gripped on the gateway. Can Absurge keep his Warlock alive? He's not in range of that Spirit Link. He's just spamming the cast out, trying to heal him through this crazy amounts of damage, and his mana pool is struggling because of it.
Yeah, that was pretty smart by Absurge to just max range CC and cast. He saw that Dota's portal was in pretty poor positioning to be able to get back to him. It's in the middle of the map at the moment, so he's able to get some free cast, keep him in the game for now, but that cost him the Dark Regeneration. So I would expect Dota to continue to be trained down for Dona at the moment here. Absurge getting cleaved down though as well. Jeff always wants to go on that blue. Seems like Balance is going to follow it up here. Stampeding Roar out from Walter, giving Absurge a little bit of distance to get that Healing Surge cast off. Really well done, but how much longer can he keep this up? 24% mana remaining. We see Dark Soul out from Dota, trying to make some work happen, but Kappa's Avenging Wrath will be up. They could just push in and end the game if they really so choose to. Seems like they want to stick on Dota. I'm not sure if it does look like he relayed his port here at the pillar. Kappa trying to keep his team offensive here, full route over onto Balance, but he's going to grip him in. I think he missed the leg sweep though, and I think he missed a leg sweep at the beginning of the game, and now another missed one could end up costing them the game here, and it might turn around. Jeff down to 18%, caught into the Shadow Fury. Dota looking to finish him off, lands a Fear on a Kappa, 12% HP remaining. Execute execution sends out from Kappa in the nick of time to pick him back up with this Avenging Wrath. Balance sitting through that Hex. Kappa trying to fake cast the interrupts. He fake casts Walter. Lava Burst flying out from Absurge. Absurge feeling pretty salty. Wants to get a kill here. Not able to get it though. Kappa actually forced to bop himself, and he's always trading these bops on the Incarns immediately. Nobody in line of sight to purge it. Walter looking to try and clone it. Not able to get it. Absurge grounds the grip and prevents himself from getting stunned here. He can start to play max range from Dota. Gets some casted heals off. Playing really well at the moment with positioning with Dota. And now Dota will be able to counter pressure. Incarnation is over, but Kappa's running out of cooldowns.
He really is. Every single time that Walter goes back onto him, he gets a bop every Incarnation, and now he's left with no bops, no bubble, no trinket, no nothing. And so Jeff, though, and Balance, they want to push in here, and as soon as they get pushed in, there we go. There's the bash out onto Raisin. Absurge also getting swapped to as well. Into that leg sweep, into the Arcane Torrent, into the Fist of Fury. Is Absurge going to go down? He got so low. The Spirit Link comes out at 10% healthier. He was in touch of death range, but he survives anyway. Raisin now pushing in. All he has left is a trinket. Can he keep his team alive long enough for them to take down Splyce? Raisin on the defense, though. He's running back. Saber the Light procking onto him and onto Jeff at the same time. And Splyce is pushing this Windwalker DK back off of their pillar over and over and over again. The double Shadow Fury coming out from Dota on both these DPS. Absurge is pulling back. He does not want to be swapped to again. He has a Spirit Link in 9 short seconds, as well as that trinket. And here's the Fist of Fury coming out. Here's the swap that they need. Dodo's trying to get aggressive, though, with this Demon Soul. Can he push this Windwalker DK off once again? Raisin getting locked out, though. Jeff has got to be careful at 30% health here. He's going to line of sight a little bit. Uh-oh. He's getting so low. He was at 19% health there at one point. The leg sweep goes out on the Dota. The Hodge goes out onto Walter Bear. I can't help but feel that's almost offensive. There's a silence out onto Absurge. He's going to stone form out of it right away. The Cyclone follow-up onto Raisin, and Jeff's in trouble. 1% health, and down he goes. Splyce is going to figure out a way and take down Donut here in game number 2 on Tolvaron Arena.
What the 104k Rising Sun kick? I haven't seen that ever.
It must be the new gear, man. Like we saw Mind Spikes being the top damage for we saw Mind Spikes being the top damage for Shadow Priest at one game with the new damage.
You can see the strategy on the scoreboard, though. Balance with 2 minutes and 25 seconds in CC. Like, they're really dedicating to CCing him there. But unfortunately, Kappa just got CC'd on his Avenging Wrath towards the end. He wasn't able to get any casts off, and Jeff ended up going down. But I feel like they kind of threw that. There were 2 important setups, like the one right at the beginning of the game. Like, the first setup is so important for Windwalker DK. Jeff gripped him, but didn't grip him quite close enough, and the leg sweep actually missed. So Absu just walked away from the first one. And then when they were looking for a kill towards the end, one of the grips got grounded, and then the other grip wasn't close enough again to the leg sweep, so he ended up missing it, and they ended up losing like 3 leg sweep setups that game. And if they had gotten those, I think it would have been a lot different.
Yeah, I think that the map choice also did attest to some things. Like every single time Jeff and Balance wanted to push in, Dota would just come back and port back, or if they go in Absurge is at like max range. Every time Raisin would come out, he would have very little to deal with the CC, and just getting those CC chains over and over and over again as they just pumped the damage out into Jeff just kind of took a toll after a while, especially when dampening hit. And but it was really interesting to see Kappa and how he reacted to Walter Bear overextending and popping that Incarnation on him. He would go all the way across the map, pop that Incarnation, and he'd get a bop right away, and then Walter Bear would just look for that Cyclone. He would look for to land that CC on that bop, and it would always get either Hodge kicked or Arcane Torrented. So him running that Blood Elf really paid its weight in gold. Thank you so much, Jamillionaire, for that 2 month in a row. I know how to speak words and things. Resub, man, I really do appreciate that, bro. But here we go, guys. It's Ruins of Lordaeron. It's Donut versus Splyce. And now this is Donut's home base, and this is a Resto Shaman's worst nightmare to face Donut.
Yeah, I definitely think Absur's going to need to be prepared here on Ruins of Lordaeron. He's faced this composition a lot. You can see that they're adapting some different techniques where they're just focusing CC on Balance the Windwalker Monk, not even dotting him or paying any attention to him. It's very unlikely that they actually are capable of killing the Windwalker Monk. With Touch of Karma, Diffuse Magic, it's just very hard to actually lock him down enough to get a kill. So I think it's smart to just focus crowd control on him instead, as he does have the most mobility. It's really easy for him to reconnect as well. So I like this, and it also forces Jeff and Balance to communicate a lot more, because if Balance is just about to get cloned, but Jeff wants to grip them in and he gets CC'd on the grip, then they're not able to chain the CC, so it forces Donut to play much more perfect. We see Jeff charging forward, Abster's in the back of the room trying to play as far back as possible. Some initial damage onto Walter and Dota as they cross the center of the map. I would imagine they're going to be going onto Abster to actually grip Walter. I'm not sure if that was intended or not, but this Legacy really isn't going to get too much done just yet. Fist of Fury, there's the Fist of Justice from Kappa to try and compensate. Dota getting bursted down, Portal's back, Soul Reaper's up, Dark Regeneration and Hellstone have to be used, but I think that's a fair trade for the initial pressure from Donut here. Abster gets to keep all of his personal cooldowns.
Yeah, and now Raisin actually on the defense. He's pulling back here at this point, popping the wings and execution sentence, and that was not Incarnation from Multiplayer just yet. Abster's getting swapped to, though, dipping down to 50% health here. He uses a Hellstone, gets put into the silence. He's not stone forming just yet. He's going to Gateway and Windwalk instead, and crazy Absterge is constantly figuring out ways to survive. There's a full Fist of Justice, though. Balance reconnects onto him. He's got no one around for the link. Can he get the link off? He gets the link off with the trinket as well, saving his life there. That was a very scary moment for Absterge, and Jeff is not letting him off that easy. He's going to reconnect over out onto him as well. Raisin on the back foot is forced to use that bop of the Incarnation from Walter Bear. The Cyclone peeling off Balance from Absterge once again, and Absterge is going to be able to get some free cast. He gets the Lava Burst in as well. Jeff taking a bunch of damage. Stay by the Light's going to proc onto him. He's going to use that Pillar of Frost to get aggressive and also heal himself. Balance is just there with the leg sweep inside Absterge's dungeon into the Fist of Fury. Jeff wants to take him out, and another Spirit Link will be forced out from Splyce.
Abster still has Ascendance to recover his team here. Kappa doesn't have Avenging Wrath. It would be nice if they could force Bubble out from him. Dark Sim used onto Walter. I'm not sure if he was actually able to get a Cyclone with it. Jeff caught into that full bash right now. Doesn't look like he has a way to break it. He's down at 30%. Kappa rotting down as well. Avenging Wrath coming up in about 9 more seconds. Donut needs to survive to that point. He's trying to fake cast the interrupt. Still not getting it. Forced to line of sight here. Fist of Fury, I think, coming out defensively for Donut. They know that they need to survive to that Avenging Wrath. Absterge caught into the Fist of Justice. It looks like they're going to be going for CC on Absterge, targeting Dota down, but they're not able to connect at the moment here. Kappa forced to Bubble and Avenging Wrath. A huge overlap. Walter getting locked out on that clone, but the full hex over onto Balance is going to stop their momentum here. No trinkets, no links. If Donut can connect one more time onto Absterge, I think they've got one more good go left in them. There's no Incarnation to counter pressure at the moment. They definitely should consider it. They're actually using the Paralyze onto Absterge. I think they're going to sit onto Dota. Actually, no. Balance switching over. This is the setup that they need to win. Walter is CCing Jeff, trying to prevent him from connecting here and actually just bursting him down. Absterge survives the stun combination, pops that Ascendance, is going to stone form out of that Strangulate. Now getting gripped back, though. Jeff and Balance still chasing him down. Now the full bash over onto Balance. What more CC do they have? The full clone out from Walter. Balance choosing to sit it. He wants to use that trinket when it's important, usually on the full hex, to make sure that he can chain his stuns together. But that was the stun to go and win. After getting locked out on his heel, maybe they can make something happen with this. Full Fist of Justice. I think he's going to go down. He's got no trinket. Walter and Dota need to keep him alive. Defensive fears, but Balance trinkets out to get the kill. And Dota are going to take game number 3 on Runes of Lordaeron. Absterge is going to fall.
There it is. That was Donut's map choice, and they needed to win on there, and they did just that. And down goes Absterge. That was a lot of swaps that Donut had to make to force those defensive cooldowns. Splyce by no means gave that win for free. That was a hard matchup for them. But Splyce now has the map choice. Now Tolvaron Arena has already been played, though, so Splyce will not be able to go to the biggest map out of all of the pool. So where are we going to next is the question. And can they win against this Windwalker DK on a map that's not as big as Tolvaron Arena? Taking a quick look at that replay, watching Absterge just go down the Hodge into the Arcane Torrent, into the Fist of Fury. There was just nothing he could do. He had a trinket coming up in just a short second. Just too little too late. Wow.
It always sucks to lose like that when you're just a couple seconds away from your cooldowns.
Yeah. Absterge's biggest damage was Absterge's one hit damage, I should say, was a bigger hit than Walter Bear's damage or Dota's damage. It's quite interesting. He did 52k lava bursts. That's really cool. Finding those opportunities to get those lava bursts off. But there you have it, guys. It's currently 2-1 in favor of Donut in this best of 5 series. This is the lower bracket right here. Splyce versus Donut. Now all of a sudden, Splyce needs to take 2 games in a row on not their map pick. So even if Splyce was able to win this next game on this next map, they're gonna have to win again to take down Donut here, or be eliminated from GCD Pro League Tournament number 5. Now here we go, guys. The next map has been chosen, and it's Blades Edge Arena. Welcome everyone to Blades Edge Arena. It's Splyce versus Donut, game number 4 here. And Donut just one win away from knocking out Splyce. In the lower bracket, can Splyce pull it back 2 games in a row, or will they fall to the mighty Donut? Pink frosted donut.
I mean, this map's going to give Dota a lot of ability to kite if they make those swaps, so Absurd should be pretty prepared to be trained down potentially here. We see Jeff jumping down onto the ramp right on top of Dota and Absturge. Walter leaping right after him to try and slow his march down. He actually got a full clone onto Balance in the center of the map. He's going to have to sit through that. Balance now reconnecting with that full fist of justice. Jeff trying to waddle over. Actually just content to split their damage up here onto Dota. He's already down to half HP. Absturge looking for a hex out of this clone. He's trying to time it. Not able to get it in time though, and Balance is able to reconnect. Kills that Windwalk Totem. Paralyze over onto Absturge. Curious what they're going to do here. Balance is going to portal back up. Looks like they're just going to be both chasing after Dota for now. Raising aka Kappa caught into that full bash, now into the full Cyclone. Good CC chain. Leg sweep over onto Absurge. Dota's going to try and break it up with that Shadow Fury. Doesn't look like they're chaining any more CC. Doesn't look like Absurge really needs it. Jeff is just really content to go after Dota. Maybe he's trying to prevent him from getting fears into Kappa or get some damage out. Not too certain with this, but I'm not sure how much longer Kappa can keep this healing up with this split strategy that Donut's going for.
Yeah, actually, Kappa actually getting knocked down, and Jeff in the middle of the map here. He's got to be a little bit careful. He's going to get cloned up here, however, with the spread pressure of Dota is doing work on the Balance as well. Raisin actually bopping out of that to keep his team aggressive. Dota taking a bunch of damage, but Absur's not in any CC. Should be able to deal with this no problem. He lands that Hex, gets the Lava Burst out as well, and the positioning for Splyce seems to be working out for him so far. It just seems like it's very difficult for Donut to find an opening in this defense, but here we go. The grip goes out onto Absturge. And then Dota coming back with the port, trying to defend, but Raisin in a lot of trouble in the back foot. Ore Mastery coming out. He's still on that forbearance for just a few more seconds. Can he survive the Ore Mastery? He's healing through it. He's jumping down as well. He was a desperate Holy Paladin. He does have that bubble now available to him if he needs to use it, but he really doesn't want to have to use it. The defensive Fist of Fury going out on both the DPS is going to be tricketed. Raisin getting locked out. He can't bubble. Oh my gosh, I thought he couldn't bubble. Sorry, that was a very scary moment for Raisin. He did get interrupted somehow. It might have been a stun, but not a lockout, and he will survive that. Now the double Shadow Fury from Dota on both Jeff and Balance. They are fighting below the map here, and Absurge is positioned on top of the bridge, so great positioning and rotation of position from Splyce over and over and over again, really giving him an advantage here in game number 4.
It's a pretty big change up. Dota's actually dotting Balance and focusing him pretty hard. A haunt thrown over, proccing a Saved by the Light, and it's actually working out because Kappa can't heal himself and 2 other players in this map. They're all split up. They do manage to catch Walter down below into that Fist of Justice, into the Fist of Fury, into the leg sweep, almost into touch of death range. He's going to pop that Survival Instincts, paralyze over onto Absurge's Ore Mastery. Can they stop him from healing? Offensive Touch of Karma used onto Walter. They're really focusing him down hard. He still has 1 more Survival Instincts. I don't think they're going to get much more out of him. Full maim into the half clone. Jeff now getting his soul drained out by Dota, down to 45% HP. Kappa desperately trying to pick them back up, but he's running out of cooldowns, running out of time. He's trying to position down below, so he's not always in line of sight of Dota. Now charging forward, Fist of Justice over onto Absurge, but he eats a full fear because of that positioning compromise. Maybe it doesn't matter. Absurge taking a lot of damage, caught into that Blood Elf Silence, trying to save that trinket, drops his first link of the game, and it's already been almost 4 minutes. Absurge holding onto his cooldowns really well here. Dark Soul available for Dota if he so chooses to use it. Kappa actually has no Avenging Wrath to deal with. There's no Touch of Karma. They could easily focus down Balance the Windwalker Monk here. He's going to Nimble Brew out of that stun lock. Kappa trying to pick him back up here, but everyone's running down. Zen Meditation coming out in desperation from Balance as he's trying to recover, but Jeff just marching forward, does not care, neglecting everything that's going on to just train after Absurge here in the back line, trying to get something out of him by himself, but I don't think he's going to be able to.
Yeah, look at Raisin's mana as well. He's dipping down to 18%. He actually did get locked out, and Splyce is just finding these opportunities to gain ahead. There's the bash on the Balance. No Touch of Karma available to him. Lava Burst even going in. The leg sweep is going to be trinketed by Walter Bear instantly. They want to make something happen on the Balance right here, right now. Raisin also getting swapped to with the haunt onto him, and with 11% mana, it's going to be very difficult for this Holy Paladin to heal through all this, especially with Walter Bear on his tail. Balance now getting cloned up, and Raisin in the far back. He's going to get knocked off with that Typhoon. The wings are coming out from Walter Bear. He's going to get hodged up, however, and Balance is swapping over onto him. Can they punish the overextension of Walter Bear? And he's dipping down to 50% health here into the Fist of Fury. He's got the Survival Instincts up to negate a lot of damage, but Raisin at 1% health. Splyce, if they can survive this, surely they can gain some momentum and take down Donut here on Blades Edge Arena. The defensive gateway comes out from Walter Bear. He's going to pull back a little bit. Absurd's getting swapped to by Jeff and Balance, and time is running out for Donut. They have no mana available to him, but here's the leg sweep at low health on Absurge. He just stoned for him. He can't trinket get out of this. Can he survive? Into the DR Hodge. He goes down to Arcane Torrent coming out as well. 1%. He gets the Spirit Link off. Walter Bear popping the Incarnation, trying to turn it around. Abster's the Live Lord is somehow, some way making it happen. The Incarnation will be cloned. The Bop coming out onto Raisin, but he's still getting rotted down from all the dot damage. Raisin still at 1% mana. How can he heal through all of this? Balance does have that Touch of Karma available to him, so they're not going to be swapping over onto him. Aura Mastery coming out from Raisin, and it looks like Donut is on the back foot. Can they pull it out with no mana available to him? Bash goes out onto Raisin. He's going to trinket out of it right away. Walter Bear trying to get the Cyclone. He gets the Cyclone out onto Bounce and getting all that damage. And Raisin, he's just surviving with nothing in the tank. He's just line of sighting as best he can. The Wind Shear from Absurds on top of the bridge here. He's going to get a leg sweep though. He's going to trinket out of that right away. He's not going to be playing it greedy at all. He's got no links available to him. He's trying to get some cast off. Can he do it? But Raisin goes down in the back line. But Jeff is going for the Fist of Fury. Can Absurd survive through this into the silence? No Storm Form available to him. 20% health here. Or Jeff and Balance making it happen. Absurd and Tut the Death Range. He's still surviving somehow, some way. Balance getting cloned up from Walter Bear. The Cyclone's getting actually stolen by Jeff and back out onto Walter Bear as well. But Jeff is in trouble. Surely he'll go down here very, very soon. Absurd's trying to get some free casts off. He's got a link in 9 more seconds, but can they survive until then? The Fist of Fury come out. Absurd's getting so low. How is he alive right now? The Cleanse actually healing himself because of the glyph, and down goes Jeff, and Splyce it will survive. And Absurd's the Live Lord, and Walter Bear and Dota the Peel Gods will take game number 4 against Donut on Blades Edge Arena. What?
There were so many. It's like that's 100% going to be a cross kill, and then he's not dead, and not dead again. And I mean, that map seemed to take Donut for a trip, and Dota kind of adapted their strategy where they were just triple dotting, and that oomed Kappa so quickly. A bit of a risk to do it, but it ended up paying off. Now, moving into the next map, however, Donut's going to be able to, I think, go for Dalaran Sewers. And I don't know if Abster is going to be able to escape on Dalaran so much as Blades. He's not going to be a lot harder to slip away. And I mean, that was some luck. I mean, obviously they're really good players, but that was some serious esports. Like, how much HP was that? I think I saw 2, a single digit. Yeah, like single digit number.
And time again, he dipped down to Touch of Death range so often, and it'd be like a Shadow Fury or a Cyclone or just something that would just keep him alive long enough to just get like an Unleash Riptide off, or just something to get another heal and back into the game. And we're going to be going into match point here in the lower bracket between Splyce and Donut. Up next, what map are we going to? Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that choice of Dalaran Sewers. I think that's exactly where we're going. It's tied up 2-2 in this best of 5 series. Taking a quick look at that bracket, the winner of this series will go on to face Method here in the lower bracket. Can't wait to see what happens there. Soon, TM.
You gotta wonder what team Method would prefer to win this matchup. Would they prefer to fight Absturge in a Lock Shaman Mirror most likely, or would they prefer to fight Donut, Windwalker DK? I kind of wonder.
Yeah, I don't know what compositions we're going to be seeing. I mean, the Windwalker DK, I mean, we've seen the Feral Druid DK out of this team as well. I think they're going to be sticking to their guns. I think we're going to see Windwalker DK as well, again. But here we go. It's Dalaran Sewers. It's Dota Absturge and Walter Bear representing Splyce FLS going up against Donut, the Windwalker DK Holy Paladin composition. But on a map like this, I mean, we saw Ruins of Lordaeron. Donut was able to pull it out against Splyce and take him down. There's no place to run for this poor little Restoration Shaman, and this map, I feel, is very similar. I mean, they do have those boxes available to them, but is it going to be enough, per se, to be able to survive through all that?
I think it's going to be a close call. I mean, Splyce pulled it off yesterday. Maybe they can do it again. Donut seemed to have some tricks in their books as well, switching on to Dota in game number 1, just switching their damage around quite a lot. I don't think they're going to need to do that on this map. It's really small. I would actually really just like to see Donut just go in, just kill Absturge in the first stun and just end it. I think they're completely capable of it. I've seen them do it a lot of the time, so I really want Donut to keep their confidence high despite this being the final game. We can see Balance charging in, stopping the gateway. Absturge getting pumped out of the pipe over to the pillar and actually using the map to his advantage. He's going to escape having to use a gap closer. The gate actually isn't even available yet. We can see Walter leaping over onto Kappa, who did get locked out. Dark Soul pop for Dota. Jeff's going to AMS right away. Kappa getting bursted down pretty hard here. He doesn't want to flop and caught to that DR'd Shadow Fury, but that Shadow Fury now is no longer available to break up a Fist of Fury stun combo if they can connect onto Absterge. We see Wall looking for a clone onto Balance. He lands it. Balance is going to trinket out. They really want to get aggressive onto Absterge as he's caught into that Fist of Justice. The stolen clone over onto Walter. Walter forced to trinket out. Absterge caught into the Fist of Fury into the Blood Elf. He's going to trinket. He drops the Link. He Aura Masteries to potentially immune the Strangulate, but Jeff's not falling for that. He's going to hold on to that Strangulate for the next stun combination, which Absterge should have Stone Form for as long as he doesn't go down to this in-between damage. We see Balance getting cloned up. Absterge can breathe. Walter's going to go over onto Kappa, who's going to bop himself immediately on that Incarnation. Blood Elf silence, the clone follow-up as well. We see Balance forced to sit through this full Hex. Not really able to get too much done. Dark Soul popped by Dota, trying to punish Kappa right now for having no Avenging Wrath to deal with his damage potentially, but they get a nice, I think it was Mind Freeze on Dota's Fear there, so he's going to slow him down for a little bit. Abster's topping himself back off. Maybe Dota's going to relay the Gateway. Seems like they're playing really far away from it here. The Stoneform Link is going to be very important for Absterge on this next swap.
Yep, the Drain Soul coming out onto Jeff. He's taking a bit of damage. Kappa being put into the full fear out of that Shadow Fury. It's a DR fear, actually. But Jeff's still taking a bunch of damage, enough to actually have to use that Death Siphon Leg. So he goes out and Abster into the Fist of Fury in the middle of the map here. And Abster, he feels confident enough to be able to position himself there for just a brief moment. But it looks like he's okay. There's the silence going out. He's trying to hold on to this Stone Form. Is he going to be able to, though? The Soul Reaper to follow it up. Is Abster's going to be able to heal through this? This is the Ascendance coming out from Abster. He should be able to get through all of this. He's looking for the jukes, though. Is he going to be able to land him? The full Hodge lands. No trinket available to him. Is this going to be it for the blue of Absterge? The Cyclone goes out on a Balance, negating a whole bunch of pressure. Great job by Walter Bear, but does get stolen and thrown back onto him, and the Spirit Link will be used by Absterge to stabilize once again. The Gateway coming out as well into the Ghost Wolf form. He's going to be able to top himself off here. Now Jeff on the back foot as the Haunts connect onto him. Raising getting locked out there for a brief moment. He's trying to catch back up on the healing, and Jeff helping him out a little bit, but there's the Bash going out and Raising. He's going to trinket out of it right away, and Walter Bear is just going on to him, but in the meantime, Abster's getting gripped into the full leg sweep, is trying to make something happen on there. The Chi Explosion comes out. Abster's dipping lower and lower. He has a trinket in 4 short seconds, but no links available to him. Can he survive? A huge Mastery Heal coming out from Abster's, topping him off there. This is the Pillar of Frost from Jeff, however. He's going to be healing and doing a whole bunch of damage with it, but he can't do it inside of a Shadow Fury from Dota, forcing Raisin to push in and bubble as well. And Splyce is slowly getting the defensive cooldowns out from Donut, but how much longer can Abster survive through this? There's the grip into the Fist of Justice. He's going to trinket out of it right away and run back towards that pillar, but Balance and Jeff are on the run after him.
Yeah, they still have Strangulate, and Jeff actually hasn't used it the entire game. Absterge Aura Mastering here, getting paralyzed on the Aura Mastery. Can Jeff get over here in time? Looks like he's just waddling over, doesn't even want to. He's going to go for an Aura Mastery Hex. Jeff getting bursted down, out of line of sight. Kappa has no mana. Walter knocks Jeff down, even further out of line of sight. Full Fear over onto Kappa, into the Cyclone. Jeff line of sighting here, trying to avoid death. Full leg sweep over onto Dota. Dota actually has no trinket. Walter does. It looks like they're actually going after Walter. I think that's a bit of a mistake. He still has survival instincts. Now going back onto Absterge. He does not have a trinket for this stun combination. He could easily go down. His Nature's Guardian's going to proc. He goes in the Strangulate. Stone Form comes out. No link for 0.8 seconds. And that 0.8 seconds are going to cost Splyce the game. Donut lead 3-2 and advance to face off against Method.
That indeed just happened. That was so close. Abster's doing a great job surviving through it. The Peels, the Cyclones, the Shadow Furies coming out from Splyce, really putting a damper on Donut's hard swaps. But at the very end there, Abster's had the cooldowns coming off in just a few short seconds, but it was too little too late. Donut will eliminate Splyce here in game number 5 and move on to face Method in the lower bracket. Taking a quick look at that replay, you can see how close the cooldown was for that Spirit Link. He even used the Stone Form to negate as little amounts of damage. No silence is available. He just needed the Stone Form to negate a little bit of damage, but it didn't matter, and there it is. Splyce will go down to Donut in a crazy series, 3-2.
Walter Bear, the role player's last hope, has fallen.
The role player's last hope. Yeah, make sure you guys go and follow each and every one of those Splyce players out on Twitter, as well as their Twitches. Walter Bear and Absterge and Jellybeans all stream quite often. I think Dota also streams too. So make sure to follow them up on Twitter and on Twitch and catch all of their live streams. I'm a big fan of Walter Bear's role-playing stream.